Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially on a busy Thursday afternoon. As you know, especially lately, we're trying to get in a bunch of training webinars, workshops for the life side, the annuity side, and we have a lot going on. So what we're going to do is we have a full training schedule that we're going to show at the end of the webinar today, just to kind of keep you in the loop. But it's been very hectic here, and I just want to make sure that if you are a life agent, you want to focus on annuities, that you don't miss our workshop, webinars, and podcast, and then vice versa. If you're working on the life side, or maybe you want to wear 2 or 3 hats, we want to make sure that everything is at your fingertips and you know which days and times and what trainings are located in what platform. So very important stuff. So fast forward today, we have a very exciting training, and the reason why is, and just think about this for a minute, we have over 90 carriers, okay, on the life annuity side, supplemental product side, and we have to make sure that every niche is covered in the industry and that we have the most competitive products, okay, for every product type, and the best carriers, right, that are at least A-rated or better for most situations. So when it comes to term insurance, okay, by the way, as we all know, term insurance is sold by all types of agents, third bedroom agents, estate planning agents. Even if they're focused on the larger sales, it doesn't make a difference. There's always a need for term, okay? And what you're going to find out today is there's a reason why Banner Life Legal & General is our go-to, okay? And they should be your go-to as well. Yes, we have other great carriers and products, but again, there's a reason why our premium is up by 3 times over the last 12 months, okay? And our goal is 5 times by 2025, okay? That's a big number when you're talking about an IMO that's been in business since 1972 with over 24,000 agents, okay? So think about that. I mean, think of your own business, okay? So scratch your head for a second and say, wait a minute, why is their premium up by 3 to 5 times over the last year? What's the reason? Why out of the 90 carriers, why is this one standing out? So that's what you're going to find out today, okay? And what you're also going to find out is, yes, this is the term go-to, but you're going to see other bells and whistles, other reasons why you can drive traffic to your platform, how simple it is to make a term sale in 2024 using our platform, and then other door opening strategies that you can use on social media, YouTube, to drive traffic and open doors, okay, to new sales. And most important, to share your story about life insurance protection, and then obviously pivot to other types of products. So this is awesome. Let's move into the first slide. What I'm going to do too is we're going to have our typical webinar giveaway at the end. Today we have a brand new set of Apple AirPods. We have our new prospecting book. So what we're going to do is at the end, I'm going to ask a question. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the prize. We'll announce your name. You got to make sure you're paying attention because the answer is in our slides. Okay, so again, make sure you're on until the end, right before 3 p.m. Eastern time. If we can go to the first slide here, that would be great. What's important to us as well, and I know I said this a few times, but our customers is our number one, period. Okay, and that's for every team member in and out of our office. If you're remote or in-house, our customers, our agent, and if you're happy, we are happy, and we have a great day, period. So we want you to take a minute after the webinar, go to our Facebook page, go to our Google reviews page, okay, leave a comment, a testimonial, a review, call it whatever you want, and you'll become a winner and get our IUL prospecting book if you leave a review. Okay, it's that easy. So top left corner, this just came in from Chris. I'm very happy to be part of an organization that will engage on the level that you all have. I appreciate the effort. On the right side, I'm very satisfied with the service. Christy was very helpful. from Jeffrey. On the bottom, RJ was kind and knowledgeable. He offered suggestions that I didn't even know existed. He exceeded my expectations. Nathan, this is everything, okay? What we typically do, we get in a few good ones daily. We buy lunch on Fridays, okay? The team loves this. It moves the needle inside this office, okay? So please share. Don't be shy. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next real fast is talk about what you need to know every other week, and that's keep your eyes peeled for the Levinson 411. Okay, this is like our newsletter. Twice a month. This will be in your inbox, and everything that we offer and every change with every carrier and product is going to be listed here. Okay, that's going to simplify your life, period. Think about having to go to 90 different websites and 28 different tech platforms and social media platforms and lead programs. Okay, this is everything simplified for you, and make sure you're seeing this. If not, that means it's sitting in your spam or junk folder, or it means we have your incorrect email address. Okay, so if you're not getting this, let us know. If you are getting this, hopefully you open it and check out at least what carriers that you're writing with, and then what platforms you're using, because there's updates, changes all the time. Okay, so very important stuff. That is the Levinson Life and Annuity Leader. Let's keep going forward. What I want to do next is shift gears for a second and talk about cash in your pocket, which we all want to hear more about. Okay, and it's so easy to take advantage of cash in your pocket incentive. So easy. Why? Check this out. First Banner app. By the way, not First Banner app for you, but First Banner app that you write in place with Levinson. You get $100 cash. Okay, and that's any platform. If you write your first app on the Insure Me Now Direct platform, $150 cash. Okay, that's on top of your commissions, which are very high, by the way. And we offer advance for certain agents as long as you qualify. Okay, so full annualization as long as you qualify. On the left-hand side, 5 for 5. So if you write 5 applications on Insure Me Now Direct, that's $500. Okay, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, 5 applications is a lot. Well, first of all, it's not a lot when you're talking about door opener type products that start at just a few bucks a month that everybody needs. Okay, I'm talking guaranteed issue, DI, CI, guaranteed issue accident with return of premium. These are easy products. We have P&C agencies where we brand the site for them so they can market to their book of business, and they sell products at 2, 3 in the morning. They send out an automated e-blast that costs them nothing, and their consumers, their book of business is clicking, quoting, and buying new policies while they're sleeping. Okay, so these are very, very easy products to sell. And like I said, they start at just a few bucks a month, and they come with a free college scholarship 1 year. Okay, so again, it's a no-brainer. And you write 5 apps, $500. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is we're going to dive into our featured presentation here that Marty is going to host for us. But I just want to say one thing before we dive in. And I'm going to say this, and Marty can't say this, but I will. If you, and obviously you're a Levinson active agent today, but if you have a Banner contract and it's not with us, okay, typically we can dual appoint, okay, if you have business to write, and you get to take advantage of our entire platform for free, which is what I just mentioned, and that cash for contracting, leads for contracting, orphan leads, and that new incentive that we just launched. Okay, so it's really a no-brainer. It's a head scratcher, because why would you not? Okay, and then think about, too, one more thing. If you're a GA, if you're recruiting agents, okay, we know most brokerage agents at least have a Banner contract, okay, but look at all the sizzle that you could bring to that agent. Okay, they're going to love you by the time you go over this great platform that's complimentary. Okay, it's a win-win. So anyway, think about that as Marty's going through her slides. So without further ado, Marty is joining us, and we are delighted to have her jump in from Legal & General. Marty, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Uh, Perfect. Thank you. Well, thank you. So I'm so excited. I'm always so excited to be able to be given the opportunity to present to all of you. I'm always truly in awe of Levinson and Associates and what they do and the level of service that they provide to their agents. I think it's fantastic. So I was really excited when Bill asked me to do this training session. And when I was thinking about it, end of August always obviously it signifies the end of summer. And, kids are heading back to school and everyone's adjusting to a new routine. And when kids head back to school, if you think about it, teachers always spend a little time going over what was taught like the previous year to make sure, the kids are up to speed. And, we realize that you work with several carriers, 90 to be exact, and it must be so challenging to remember who offers what product and what the application process is and what makes a carrier unique. So I was thinking, what a better time than to do a quick refresher for you all to remind you of what we have to offer for the end, and that's really for that end of year push and to help you lay the groundwork for 2025. So for those of you who are already doing business with us, first of all, I'd love to say thank you. We truly appreciate every application that you submit to us. And this presentation's mainly going to be a refresher for you. However, we do have a new program that I'm really excited to share with you. And then for those of you who are new to Legal & General America, Banner Life, welcome. And I hope this will help you get up to speed quickly. So if we look at today's lesson plan, so just going to talk a little bit about who we are. We're going to do that review of term products, going to share the new term-to-term exchange program, talk to you a little bit about a change that we're making to the collateral assignment process for anybody who's doing business loans, touch on some resources that are available to you, just touch a little bit on underwriting, and then just do an overall review. So when you recommend Legal & General America or Banner Life to your clients, you can be confident that you are recommending a strong, financially sound company. We are ranked as the #1 provider of term life insurance in the U.S. We've issued more than $105 billion of coverage in 2023. We have 1.4 million policyholders, and we pay out approximately $1 billion in claims every year to more than 4,200 families and businesses across the country. We are backed by our parent company, which is Legal & General Group. They are headquartered over in London, England. They are the 9th largest insurance company in the world. And as you can see, we get straight A's across the board when it comes to financial ratings, and our Comdex score is 95, which is excellent. We offer a wide range of term products. So we're strictly term. So we offer products that can pretty much cover whatever your client's needs are. We have shorter term durations that may work when covering a loan, or for those older clients who still need life insurance. If you'll notice, our OpTerm 10 and 15, maximum issue age on that is 75. And then on our OpTerm 20, which is our most popular product, that maximum issue age is age 70. We also have longer term durations as well, and we're one of only just a couple of carriers to offer level term periods for 35 and 40 years. And this is a great option for those individuals who need that long-term coverage, but those permanent products just may be a little too expensive. They can get that long-term coverage at a lower cost and not sacrifice the total amount of insurance that they need, which they may end up doing in order to get that permanent product. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Another thing that I like to point out specifically is when you look at our underwriting classes, we have 6 different underwriting classes, which is pretty much the same as all carriers. But what makes us stand out is if you have a client who has a health condition that requires a table rating, we are going to base that table rating off our standard plus non-tobacco rate class, meaning that if we offer a table 2 and another carrier is going to offer a table 2, we're going to be less expensive because we're basing that table rating off a less expensive underwriting class. Even if they have a lower table rating, they're a 2 and we're a 4, you always want to make sure you're comparing those prices because our table 4 could still beat out their table 2. So we have a child rider, and I like to point out this especially because we offer 2 different term durations for the child rider. So it comes in amounts of $5,000 and $10,000. One rider covers all eligible children. Both parents can include the rider on their policy, essentially doubling their coverage. But what's really important to know is that we do not underwrite the child. We simply need their name, their date of birth, and their social security number. The rider needs to be added at the time of application. So if you're working with a couple and they have kids or they don't have kids, but kids are definitely in their future and they think that they would want to have coverage for them, go ahead and have them add that rider when they're applying. It's really inexpensive. So for $5,000, it's only going to be an additional $27.50 per year. And for the $10,000 rider, it's only going to be an additional $55 per year. Other riders and benefits that we offer a waiver of premium and accidental death, or excuse me, accelerated death benefit. That is automatically included on every policy. And what that means is if they've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, given less than 12 months to live, we can accelerate up to the lesser of either 75% of the death benefit or $500,000. We are the only carrier to offer term riders. So term riders allows your client to stack or ladder coverage on one policy as opposed to having separate multiple policies. This allows them to customize their coverage to suit their needs. It helps them save money by not paying the additional policy fees, and they're going to end up paying less over time. The term riders are offered in durations of 10, 15, and 20 years. They can add one rider, they can add up to all 3 riders, which then kind of mimics that decreasing term insurance if you've got anybody looking for that. One thing you just need to keep in mind when working with the term riders is the term rider itself cannot go beyond age 70. So therefore, the maximum issue age to add a rider to the policy does cap out a little bit lower than what it would be for a standalone policy. And each one of the riders is individually convertible as well. And sometimes I think it helps to actually visualize like how the term riders work. So this is just an example I had run for a guy named Evan. He's 40 years old. And right now he needs $1 million worth of coverage, but he's looking at, he's only 40. So he wants to get long-term coverage. So we're looking at applying for the 40 year. That's going to give him level coverage until he's 80. But right now he needs $1 million, but to carry $1 million for all 40 years, that just seems a little daunting to him. So what you can do is you can kind of work with him and look at like what their needs are. So what we've decided to do here is, Evan really wants that 40 years of coverage. But again, right now he needs $1 million. So we've added a 20-year term rider for $250,000, and we're adding a 10-year term rider for $250,000. His base plan's $500,000. So right now, for the first 10 years of that policy, he's going to be covered for $1 million. Then, maybe that 10-year term rider was to cover a couple of loans or something, and those loans have now been paid off. And the 10-year term rider that expires. So if you'll notice in year 11, that face amount goes from $1 million down to $750,000. The premium decreases as well. So the premiums now has now reduced by $100. And you may think, okay, $100 doesn't sound like a lot, but $100 over the next 10 years, that really does add up. Then at the end of 20 years, that 20-year term rider now expires and the face amount goes for $750,000 down to $500,000. Again, his premium is decreasing as well, and now we're just down to $1,671, and he's covered for $500,000 for the remaining 20 years of that policy. So again, it can really work to your client's advantage to kind of look at this and see if this works for them. So now I'm really excited to kind of talk to you about what really the main reason of this presentation is all about, is introducing the term-to-term exchange. So what is the term-to-term exchange? In March, we rolled out this program, and it allows eligible policyholders to exchange their current term policy for a new term policy with a longer term duration. There is no evidence of insurability. Now, it needs to be done within the first 4 years or 48 months of their policy. The new policy will be for the full term duration. So if they're going from a 20-year term policy to a 30-year term policy and they exchange it today, they're going to have that full 30 years. It's not truncated by the number of years that have already passed on their current policy. Full commission is paid on the net increase in premium. So if their premium is going from $500 a year to $750 a year, you're going to receive commission on that increase of $250. And this is just a great way to generate new business from existing clients. And it's a great topic for those annual policy reviews. So you may ask yourself, 4 years, that just doesn't really sound like a lot. Like, what's going to change in 4 years? Well, there's actually a lot of stuff that can change in 4 years. So when you reach out to your client, you always want to say, so, how are you doing and what's changed? Maybe they've had a new baby. They have a new addition to their family. Maybe they've purchased a new home or they've refinanced and now they have a longer mortgage. Their budget now could allow them to have that longer term duration. Maybe they were promoted or they've gotten a new job. Buyer's remorse. Like I said earlier, OpTerm 20 is our most popular product. And I think just 20-year term is generally the most popular product across all carriers. But if you think about it, 20 years does sound like a long time, especially to younger individuals. But 20 years, you can blink and 20 years goes by just like that. So you may have a client who, they're now like 2, maybe 3 years into their policy and they're like, oh my gosh, 20 years really isn't that long. I should have gotten a longer term policy. So how are you going to know which of your clients is eligible to receive this? So we actually have a list of eligible policies, can be found on our dashboard. So if you're already contracted with us, you can register for our dashboard. And if you need instructions on how to do that, just let Bill or Andrew or anybody at Levinson know that, and we can get the instructions over to you. It's really easy to register. So once you've registered, you're going to get on our dashboard, and over to the left, we've got a menu bar, and you're going to click on My Business. And if you'll notice, down towards the bottom of that drop-down menu, it says Term Exchange. It is going to show you all of the eligible policies that can do that exchange. And the nice thing is this report gives you all the information that you need to know. It's going to give you what their issue age was, but it's also going to tell you what their current age is. And that's really important when you think about current age, because even though they have like a shorter term duration, you have to pay attention to their current age to make sure that they are still eligible for the product based on their age. But the other thing is that what this report gives you is the report also will tell you what products that they are eligible for based on their current age. So this is a great tool for you to utilize. You can just come in here. We refresh this every month. And the reason why we do that is we have policies, we will drop off policies a month before they are to expire. So again, this is only good for those, within the first 4 years. So we would hate to have a policy on here where, maybe that the exchange period is going to expire in a couple of weeks, and you go through all that work to reach out to your client and get them to do this, and then the eligibility expires. We wouldn't want that to happen. So you may just want to come back, set up a reminder just to come in here once a month, take a look at the policies and see if there's somebody that you want to reach out to, and check, ask them what's changed and see if this is good. This is a good fit for them. So who is eligible? That's always a good thing to know. So again, it's anybody who's purchased 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, policies. Again, the effective date, it needs to be within the last 4 years, 48 months. So if you take their effective date and you look forward to you go forward 4 years, that's going to give you that time frame that they have. The insured must be, again, within the exchange policy's issue ages. And we base this on age nearest birthday. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking at the products. And then the policies must be within our retention. So what that means is anybody from 20 to 75, and yes, if you have a 75-year-old and they purchased a 10-year, an OpTerm 10, remember the OpTerm 15 goes up to age 75. So if they're feeling good and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna live a long time, I should have gotten a longer term duration, you can go back and get that 75-year-old a 15-year term. That's provided that they are anywhere from a preferred plus up to a table 4, and their face amount is no higher than $2 million. So we cap it out at $2 million. If they were table rated at table 5 through a table 12, then we've capped that face amount at $500,000. So if they have over $500,000, then they wouldn't qualify if they were a table 5 through a table 12. So who's excluded is if they got waiver premium on their policy and they've become disabled and we're currently waiving the premium. If the original policy has a flat extra, those are not eligible for the exchange. Policies that were partially or fully reinsured, those are not eligible. And then if you've sold William Penn or if you sold Banner, you have to look at that state. So if you sold them a Banner policy in Florida and they've moved to the state of New York, we can't do that exchange because now they're living in New York, and we can't exchange from Banner to William Penn and vice versa. If they were living in New York and now they're now like transplanted to Florida, you wouldn't be able to do the exchange for that either. But again, those policies aren't going to show up on the list. So you can be fairly confident that when you're looking at that list, that you're good to go. But I would always say, double check with Levinson if you have any questions, any concerns, double check with them. It's always best to do that before you approach your client, just to make sure everything is good. We've got some great marketing materials for you as well. So I've just got a sample up here of 3 different things. So the flyer over to the left, that is a flyer that's for you all, for agents. This is going to give you a really quick synopsis of what I've just gone over. We've then designed a letter for your client. So you could send a letter the old-fashioned way. I don't know about you, but it's actually kind of fun to get some mail these days. I think everybody's kind of over emailed these days. So it's kind of fun to like actually see something other than junk mail in your mailbox. You could also too, you don't have to do a letter. You could simply copy and paste this into an email if that's what you want to do. This is compliance approved wording. So just simply copy and paste. And then the flyer over to the right, that's for your client that you can send out. And it's just explaining the program and why an exchange may be beneficial for them. And I know this looks a little daunting, so again, there's no underwriting required. We just need some forms. And I know this looks like a lot, but it's really not. So in order to get them the new policy, we just need a completed exchange form. We would like for the original policy to be returned to us, but if they don't have it, there is a lost policy statement on that form. They can just simply click the box to say they don't have the policy. If the premiums are going to be paid by EFT, we just need an EFT form. We do need the accelerated death benefit form, so that state-specific form. We do consider this a replacement, so we're going to need the replacement form. And then we do like for you all to submit an illustration with it, policy projection, just so we can see, you know, how it's structured. The forms are available on our website, and they're also available on iPipeline. And then I would say just go ahead and once you have the forms completed, make sure that you send it to Levinson and Associates, and they'll get it over to us. The nice thing is that, again, no underwriting. We actually have a bot that does this. So as long as everything comes in good order, we're getting the new policies issued and out the door probably within 48 to 72 hours. So just some frequently asked questions. Can the face amount on the newly exchanged policy be higher or lower? So the answer to that is no. The face amount has to remain the same. Does the suicide period and contestability period start over with the new policy? No, it does not. The exchange program right now, we plan on keeping this forever. And then if you want to know how to quote it, you're just going to simply run a new illustration based on the age that they are today. And then we've already covered why somebody would do an exchange. And then how many times can the policy be exchanged or completed? So this is just a one-time deal. And the policy number that's assigned to the new policy, it's a totally different policy number. It will start out with 25B if it's for Banner Life, or 25W if it's for William Penn. So again, you'll know that if you see a policy with that policy number, you know that they can't do another exchange on that. And then another really good thing to point out about term riders, because we talked about them a little while ago, we indicate on that report if there is a term rider. The only problem is when IT developed this, they didn't add in the amount of the term rider with the base. So if they have a term rider, that may actually push them over that $2 million face amount. So you want to double check on that. They do have an option. So I would say if they have the term rider, find out what is more important to them. Is it more important to keep that additional coverage intact? Or is it more important for them to have that extended term duration at a lower face amount? Maybe some things have changed and they don't need that, the additional amount of the term rider. So they could do the exchange and then just not add the term rider if it pushes them over that limit. The other thing is too, is if they've aged out of the term rider, again, they could still do the exchange. We would just remove the term rider as an option. And then hot off the presses, this actually just was added to our dashboard last night. So you all are the first to hear about this. We have now included policies that have gone into their grace period on our dashboard. So again, when you've logged into the dashboard and you click on My Business, now at the bottom of that drop-down menu, just below the term exchange, there's a reference to say policies in grace. This will give you a list of policies that have entered the grace period. So right here, as you can see, for an example, these policies, they've just gone beyond their paid to date. So their paid to date was August 19th. They're now in that grace period. And we allow 31 days for them to pay that premium. So again, this may be a great time, just, once a month, you're going to come in here, maybe take a look to see, do you have any policies that can go through the term exchange? And then take a look at the list of policies that have gone into grace. You may want to reach out to the client and find out, you know, is this intentional? And it may be intentional because maybe they've reached the end of that level term period and they're just going to let their policy go. But it may signify an issue with their premium payment. Maybe they moved and they forgot to give us that change of address, which happens a lot. So again, this is a great tool to have you reach out to your clients and just check in on them to see how everything's going. So moving on to the loans and collateral, business loans and collateral assignments. So we know that there is a huge market out there, especially when you're talking about SBA loans. Huge market out there, because you know most of the banks they want to make sure that they'll get repaid on that loan. So a lot of times they'll say, okay, we're going to loan you the money, but we need some collateral. We hope this is just the first step. This is like a baby step. We want to digitize this entire process to make it much easier, but that's going to take a little time for us to develop and build into the system. So what we've done is, if your client has indicated that the purpose of insurance is business and it's for a business loan, when that application is submitted, it's going to trigger an email. Now the email is going to go to Levinson and Associates, and it's going to put it on their radar to say, hey, this policy is going to be collaterally assigned. So it gets it on everybody's radar. They can just simply forward this email on to you, so you know in the back of your mind to say, okay, once this policy is placed in force, there's another step that we're going to need to take. Then when the offer goes out, so policy's been approved and we're sending out the offer, that will trigger the second email to say, okay, offer's been made, let's get this policy in force, because they need to get it collaterally assigned in order to close on that loan. Within the email, there's going to be a link that's going to allow you to, that will give you access to the form. And again, we're working on digitizing the whole process, but right now it's still a manual process. So it's still a paper form that requires a wet signature. But what we did to the paper form was we added a very, I would say, needed set of instructions on the collateral assignment form, because there is a certain way that they have to fill out the form. And we do, because it's a wet signature that we need on this form, and we only have an electronic signature on file because everything was done online, we just need to make sure whoever is collaterally assigning the policy is who they say they are. So we do need a copy of their driver's license. This is now spelled out when you're getting that collateral assignment form. So you make sure that you get all the information right up front, that the form's filled out properly, because when that collateral assignment comes in good order, we're usually processing those within 72 hours. So some resources that we have for you all as well. We've got some great resources. We've got what we call the Horizon Pro Navigator. And what I love about this is that it is just a condensed like training version, because a lot of times we'll have agents say, okay, I've dropped a ticket. Now what happens? What does my client see? What does the application look like? How are they going, how does the policy get placed in force? So you simply come here, and each one of these you can click on. I get a little nervous like clicking outside of a presentation, so I'm not going to do it here, but we're going to get you a copy of this presentation so you can do that. But if you click on like tile number 2, it's going to show you the email that gets sent to your client after you drop that ticket. It's going to show you the layout, that the application is divided into 3 sections, and the types of questions that we ask. Then you can click on tile 3 and just, get a reminder of the underwriting process and the different paths that your application can take. And then number 4, the 4 tile, that one's really cool because it shows you how that online delivery process takes place. And again, it's going to show you those screenshots so you can feel comfortable when you're selling this product to your client, that you also understand the process that application is going to take. We have campaigns in a box. So if you've listened in before, we've gone over a couple of these with you. So again, these are, little campaigns that we've created. One is specific to the women's market. One is specific to millennials. And then one is just, getting that awkward conversation of, what, one day I am going to die and what's going to happen. I really think we need to talk about life insurance. They're all compliance approved. There's several different pieces in there. You can follow the campaign exactly as we have it laid out. Or like what I kind of like is to look at each one of these and maybe take like your favorite ones and piece together your own campaign. So that too is available on our Advisor Hub. And then quickly, just to kind of remind you all of the underwriting or the application process. So our application process is end-to-end digital. So from the drop ticket, the InsureMeNow Direct app is fantastic for this. You can go through that. You can go through the dashboard. You can go through iPipeline. You can access this several ways through Levinson. So whatever is easiest for you. Simply, you drop the ticket, your client completes the application. They could be eligible for an instant decision. If not, that's okay. We're going to continue the underwriting process until we're confident that we can make an offer. Offer goes out, your client can review the offer. They can pay for it right online and then download a copy of their policy. There's 3 different underwriting paths that an application can take. So there's that accelerated path. If they're between the ages of 20 and 60 and they're applying for no more than $2 million, they could get an instant approval. No exam, no APS, really super easy. If they don't fall into that box, then they could still be approved with no exam. And if you've been selling life insurance for a while, you'll know that in the past, everybody required an exam. We now, majority of our cases do no longer require an exam. We're going to go over that statistic in a minute. And what we do there is that if your client has been to see a doctor within the last 18 months, then we're going to attempt to get their medical records. And then if they do need an exam and an APS, it's no problem. We're going to continue to underwrite your client until we are confident that we can offer it, we can make an offer or we can, when we can make a decision. So for that exam-free substitution program, this again is for ages 20 to 60. Now, if they are 20 to 50, provided that they're applying for no more than 4 million, and we just increased that at the end of last year. So now we can go up to 4 million with no exam. If they're ages 51 to 60, we can go up to 2 million. They needed to have seen a physician in the last 18 months and had full blood work done. Nice thing is this is available to everybody. So even if you have a client that's got a health condition and it looks like they're going to be table rated, they could get an approval with no exam. And then these are our current cycle times. So 35% of applications are receiving an instant decision. 66% of applications are decisioned within 10 days. And 78% of applications do not require an exam. But while that's all in good, so that's great that everybody, we emphasize the instant issue and the quick turnaround. And I feel like because there's been such an emphasis on that, not only with us, but a lot of carriers, we feel that like that perception of impaired risk, we feel like there's a perception out there that either we don't want impaired risk or that we can't underwrite impaired risk. And we want to change that perception because with, 66% of the cases getting decision within 10 days, that actually gives our underwriters time and capacity to actually underwrite those more difficult, challenging cases. And just because somebody has a health condition doesn't mean that they're not going to qualify for insurance. In fact, in 2023, we helped insure over 21,500 people who were issued with a table rating. And remember, we table rate off standard plus non-tobacco. So we really hope that you'll consider working with us when you have that client whose health is less than perfect. And mainly, again, the number one reason for that is price. Again, for those non-tobacco users, we're gonna base that table rating off standard plus. With our lab lift exam substitution program, they could have health conditions, but we're not gonna put them through an exam. And then our underwriters average 21 years of experience, and they're trained to incorporate our underwriting philosophy. They look at the person as a whole and not just the condition. And again, I think according to LIMRA, there's 102 million Americans who still need life insurance or need more of it. And when asked, sometimes when they're asked, why don't you have life insurance? Sometimes it's because they're like, I'd never qualify. I suffer from anxiety and depression, or, I've been diagnosed with diabetes, or I have sleep apnea. And they think because they're not in perfect health that they're not going to qualify. So they just don't even bother applying. So we want to work with you to make sure that they know that that's not always the case. I mean, yes, there are some people out there that we may not be able to insure, but there are a lot of people out there that need that insurance. We want to make sure that we get that message out there. Don't shy away. Talk to an agent, work with an agent, work with Levinson and Associates. And we would love to have that business, but I understand that we're not going to win all of the cases. To me, I think it's just important that we get that 102 million insured. So I'm just going to wrap up really quick. So what kind of makes us unique? What makes us stand out? So again, remember, we offer that 35 and 40-year level term products, so those longer term durations if needed. We offer term riders that allows clients to customize their coverage to suit their needs. We now have that term-to-term exchange program that will allow eligible policyholders to exchange their current term policy for a longer term duration. We've got that accelerated and light touch underwriting. And again, for those who are less than perfect and are issued with a table rating, we can help save them money by table rating off a standard plus non-tobacco rate class. And with our products, I truly believe that we have the price, the product, and the people to get your clients the coverage that they need. So again, I just want to personally say thank you so much for the business. We truly appreciate every single application that you send to us.
Oh, we appreciate.
I will stop talking.
No, that was great, Marty. Thank you so much. You literally hit on every single hot bullet. So what I want to do now is I want to shift gears again, and I want to get into marketing for you all so you can spread the message. I want to share some facts with you for yourself, and then if you have any downline agents you're working with, things you need to know, right? There's a lot of noise out there in the industry, and I think it's important that we share the facts, not just about legal in general, but about the platform and about selling online in general. So let's dive into slide 1 here. How to get started. And I know a lot of you are appointed with Levinson already with Banner, which is great if you're not. So here's the great part. I said this earlier, if you have a case to write, you can take out a dual appoint number. So a second number under Levinson, and then take advantage of all of the incentives, the Insure Me Now Direct platform, everything that we have to offer, even the orphan leads, which are awesome. In fact, I would say about half of our batch is through Banner. Okay, so that's important to know because you can go back in and then use either we have 2 external term conversion programs that are approved with Banner Term, okay, which is Symetra and Columbus. Then you have the term to term option. And then on top of that, we just had literally about 10, maybe 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, a Banner permanent product that the client, it was a doctor, didn't need the policy anymore, and it was sold for $123,000. Agent walked away with a $17,000 commission. Okay, so again, the point, there's a ton of options. It's not just about term insurance and being the most competitive in the world. Okay, there's other bells and whistles here. And the reason they can do that, by the way, I know I'm getting off topic for a second, but because of their financial stability, their A+, AM Best rating, we're able to look into these other company conversion programs. And then if the client doesn't need a policy anymore, the life settlement business is strong. Why? Because Banner is so stable. Okay, so, and again, not just the biggest company in the country, they're one of the largest insurers in the world. So that's a big deal. All right, let's keep moving forward. We're gonna send all of this out, by the way, in email format. So we'll have all the brochures, contracting in your inbox tonight before we wrap up. So Insure Me Now Direct and Banner. So think about this. This is the only way, because there are other white label Banner term products out there that are being marketed today that are not the same product. You need to know this, okay? And by the way, the proof in the pudding, if you literally run a quote, just run a 40-year-old male, female, whatever, 100,000, look at the premium, and you're going to notice our traditional brokerage Banner term product is number 1. It's the least expensive term product in the industry, period. And if it's not, if it gets beat by 22 cents, that'll last maybe a day or two or a week, and then you're going to see Banner come right back and be on top in the number 1 spot. Okay, so there's a lot of fluff. There's, like I said, other IMOs, other agencies saying, hey, we have Banner term. Come write this with us. We have this on a direct-to-consumer platform. Okay, meanwhile, either A, the product is almost double in premium or 20, 30% higher, depending on which Banner term product it is, number 1. Number 2, there's even one, and I know you heard of them, they are the agent of record. So they want you to refer the business. They're the agent of record. What does that mean? A year or 2 or 5 years later, they're converting your term policy that was your client. Okay, this is crazy. Anyway, ask the right questions. I can promise you this. With Insure Me Now Direct, 100% direct to consumer to age 60 to $2 million, instant decision. Okay, as long as they're, I would say, in the select to preferred or better, okay, that instant decision will be approved, okay, as long as they're in that upper category. But keep this in mind for a second. There is no other Banner term product that's on a multi-carrier, multi-product direct-to-consumer platform that pays you full commission like ours, period. Doesn't exist, okay? You need to know this for you, and you need to know this for your downline agents, okay? And when you put on your consumer hat, okay, think about this for a second. You're talking to consumers out there, right? It doesn't matter, younger agent, middle age, you're a veteran agent, whatever, annuity agent. And the conversation, it's a little difficult to talk about, life insurance and protection and their future. Okay, whatever. You run a quote for them at $100,000. Okay, if it's a younger professional couple, whatever, $100,000, 20, 30-year term, you're going to see the premium is so inexpensive. And then when you turn your cell phone around or your laptop or your desktop and you literally show Insure Me Now Direct and the process and application, less than 11 minutes, they're going to want in, okay? And I'm going to show you, again, proof in the pudding in just a second. There's nothing easier than this. And it's not like they're going to come back in 6 months and say, oh, you sold me this term product that's priced double of what Protective or Pac Life or the traditional Banner product is. No, you're selling the least expensive product that exists, okay? So you can feel comfortable knowing that. All right, anyway, enough of my ranting. Let's keep moving forward. We have a bunch of updates on Insure Me Now Direct. We have a new carrier, in fact, 2 new carriers, new products that are all being added as we speak. We have a new quoting engine that's going to be really cool. We have even a basic version of Insure Me Now, which is free. And then we're rolling out a pro version. So this is going to be really, really cool. It's a co-op discounted price. Let's back up, Andrew, for just 1 second. I want to show everyone what is there today, and you can literally dive in this afternoon and start to quote these products. Of course, Banner Life, top left corner. Just under that, we have Manhattan Life for the supplemental products, even a long-term care alternative product. Top right, we have term, disability, critical illness, guaranteed issue accident with return of premium. They take everybody. And the new ultra competitive Century DI product is on the platform as well, all with ROP riders. Bottom right corner, Gerber Life. Okay, who doesn't know the Gerber name, the brand? Tons of recognition. I would be marketing this until my eyes turn purple. I mean, literally. Okay, why not? And if anything, it opens the door. You sell a product, and then it opens the door to pivot to other avenues, other products, other needs. I mean, there's so much opportunity here. No one else has this unless you're a Levinson agent. Let's keep moving. Okay, so I promised I'm going to show you how simple this is. So just imagine you have your own URL, whatever, BillLevinson.com, and you're marketing this. If you're a P&C agency, great. Health agency, great. You're driving traffic. Let's go to the next slide. I want to show you how simple this is. So your client jumps in, and you can do this with them at Publix, at Safeco, at whatever, Safeway. You're sitting there face to face. You introduce yourself, insurance agent, whatever. Like I said, laptop, mobile phone, desktop, doesn't matter. State, birthday, gender. Do you use tobacco? Next. This is the next slide that comes up. By the way, this is going to be branded for you, the agent. Okay, very simple. You're going to click life insurance. Then we're going to move over to the right. It's going to show banner. There's even a brochure if they're a little confused. Let's go to the next slide. And again, very simple, term length, benefit, bill frequency, buckle up, buttercup, time to get your quote. Right-hand side, this is what pops up. This is, by the way, all happening in seconds. Right-hand side, that's the premium, okay? It's going to show $1,172,000 a year. Apply. Let's go to the next slide. And boom, done. This is what we have, application and instant decision. Hopefully it's an approval. You click accept, and you and the client are on your way. They can do this again, 2 a.m., or you could do it at 2 p.m. when you're sitting face-to-face at Starbucks. Doesn't make a difference. Let's keep moving forward. So real fast, what I want to talk about now, because I know we don't have much time, some of the new features, right? This is like version 2, call it Insure Me Now Direct on steroids. I don't care. We are adding a Calendly option so your clients can book a call right then and there in real time if you accept as the agent. This is going to be on your site. The Google Analytics, as long as you're active, this is free. Like I said, we're going to have the basic version, which is today, and then a pro version, okay, which is unbelievable. You'll see a webinar in the next 4 to 6 weeks on the pro version. We have a new quoter built in. So on the right side will be instant decision. Left side is going to be the traditional underwriting path showing all products. And then we'll have a lead capture form, which is then sent to you, the agent, so you can close the deal in real time fashion. Okay. I mean, this is amazing stuff. On the bottom, okay, very simple. If the client decides traditional, great. Lead capture form, application, gets sent to you, done. They choose instant. That's where they do everything, 12 minutes or less. You just sold a new policy in your sleep. Let's keep moving forward. Now, getting the word out. I'm going to move over these slides real fast, so make sure you're paying attention, and then you can call any one of our marketers if you have questions or if you want to dive in deeper. We also hired a new member of the team that starts Monday morning. He is a graphic artist and social media management professional. His name is JC. He's starting Monday, 9 a.m., like I said. And as far as technology goes, there's no one better, okay? And that's what we hired him for. He's going to bring a lot to the table. Most important, he's here to help our agents, okay? So you'll be able to call him. We'll make an introduction. He can help you with everything from A to Z when it comes to social media and technology. So these are great turnkey platforms you can use for yourself or for a P&C agency, health agency. Everything's already laid out for you, and it's free. And then Revenue Booster, Same concept, okay? A little more parts to it, a little more moving parts. But let me just tell you right now, we have a PNC agency based out of Florida. They have 300 locations. They're using this today, and it's changed their business. Okay, they have added basically a new department on for free, turnkey, and they're up and running. Okay, that's what I mentioned earlier in the call. Let's keep moving. So recruiting, obviously, no brainer, because if no other agents have access to a site like this, why would you not go out and wave the Insure Me Now flag to say, hey, come work with me. Look what I can give you for free. Okay, and then you make your spread. It's just like any other traditional carrier appointment. Okay, very easy. And that's the whole point of all of these tools. We made it bigger, better, easier for you and the consumer. Let's keep moving forward. This is the Symetra external term conversion. So they approved, if we can go to the next slide, there we go. So you can take a banner term written in the last 4 years and literally convert to an IUL with A-rated Symetra. Then we have a similar program with Columbus, same thing, banner term written in the last 5 years to Columbus Life's permanent options. Okay, all approved because of Banner's great stability and financial ratings. It's that simple. Okay, I'm almost done. Second to last slide, then we'll put a bow on this. Podcast trainings are awesome. Okay, I don't care if you've never sold an annuity before, or you're Mr. or Mrs. Annuity, global, worldwide, call it whatever you want. This training on the left side, the podcast 52 with Coach Charles, game changer, okay? And if you listen to that and you don't agree, I want to hear from you. I'm going to give you a few orphans because I don't believe it. Okay, literally, I'm putting that on record. Okay, Coach Charles, annuities, he's the man. Right-hand side, Farron Blanc is heading up Banner Life in the U.S. Okay, there's no one higher than him in the USA for Banner Life. He's the one that gave us the green stamp for this platform. Okay, I sat down with him for an hour to talk all about his mindset and what direction Banner is headed in 24, 25, and in the near future. So some great tidbits in that episode as well. My last slide here, and then I'm going to have my Positive Tuesday quote and question of the day. So I mentioned earlier in the webinar about how we have so many trainings going on at once. So Coach Charles is hosting an annuity workshop with us every single Wednesday at 2 p.m., okay, for the month of August and September. And by the way, we're going to do this again, but if you want to get in at the tail end, you're annuity active with us, let me know personally, and I can probably squeeze you in, or we'll get you some recorded links. On top of that, Insure Me Now Direct with Assurity, okay, new products being added. That's on the 29th. Unlock the tools for selling annuities virtually. This is a great one by Coach Charles. So selling annuities online or over the phone, that's on the 3rd. Just under that is Q3 strategies for websites, marketing, social media, using artificial intelligence. That's going to be another big one on the 19th. And then One America now has instant decision hybrid LTC product that just launched. We're going to talk about that as well on the 3rd. And then my final slide, question of the day. I know it's a lot of information. I apologize, but we haven't spoken in fact, it's been 2 weeks for me. I know Carrie hosted last week's call. So I wanted to get in a lot for you to make sure you have everything so you can go out and be dangerous. Let's move over to the left side. This is my quote of the week. And by the way, you should be branding and marketing like this too. Okay, Positive Tuesday means nothing. It's just a way to get the word out, right? Your name, your signature, your brand in front of your consumers. I do it for our agents and GAs. Late nights and early mornings lead to the road of success, not just good luck and lottery tickets. Hello, we know that. There's no shortcuts. Do it the right way, the first way. Okay, everything rises to the surface, good, bad, or indifferent. We know how that works already. Just a gentle reminder. Question of the day. We spoke about Banner term, how easy it is, this entire 60-minute webinar, right? Yes. Okay. You tell me, you got to be first, and you got to get your fingers on the keyboard. You tell me, for the Banner term, instant decision, what's the max face amount and the max age to qualify for instant decision in real-time fashion? Tell me the max age and max face amount to qualify for instant decision with banner on Insure Me Now Direct. Okay? It's two answers. You tell me first and correctly, and you win. Apple AirPods, prospecting book on us. Andrew's checking right now. Andrew, who was first? Who was correct?
Rick M. Rick M.
Rick M. Like Mary, congrats. The answer all the way up to age $62 million. And by the way, I heard from a little birdie, it's going to be doubled or even close to tripled in the next few months. Okay? Little teaser that I heard. Could be a rumor, but I heard this. So keep your eyes peeled. Let's have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, great selling. Please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of our marketers for more information. Thanks again, everyone.